Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to extract publicly available information such as email addresses, phone numbers, and linked social media profiles from an authorized domain using an OSINT tool. This technique is extremely useful for cybersecurity professionals, penetration testers, bug bounty hunters, and security researchers because it helps them understand what information an organization has exposed publicly. During security assessments, this can help identify unnecessary information exposure that attackers could potentially use during reconnaissance. At the same time, this also highlights the importance of protecting sensitive contact information from being easily discovered online. However, just like many cybersecurity tools, this technique also has a dark side if it is misused. Cybercriminals may attempt to gather publicly available information for phishing campaigns, social engineering attacks, or other malicious activities. That is exactly why learning these techniques ethically is so important. By understanding how information is collected, security professionals can better protect organizations and help reduce their exposure to potential attacks. Before we begin, I want to make it absolutely clear that this video is created strictly for educational purposes, cybersecurity awareness, and ethical penetration testing training. Everything demonstrated in this video is performed only on publicly available information from authorized domains. This content is intended to help students, ethical hackers, and cybersecurity professionals understand OSINT techniques so they can improve security, not to invade privacy, bypass security, or perform any unauthorized activity. Always obtain proper authorization before testing any system, and use these skills responsibly and ethically. Now, let's get started. First of all, the tool we're going to use is a Linux-based tool. To access it, open your browser and search for CLAT97 InfoHarvest GitHub. From the search results, click on the first link. It will take you to the official GitHub repository. Here you'll find everything you need to know about the project, including what the tool does, how it works, the project files, and the installation instructions. Now let's move to the installation section. First, I'll switch to my virtual environment to perform a clean installation. Next, return to the browser, click the green code button, and under the HTTPS section, copy the GitHub repository link. Go back to the terminal and type git clone, followed by the repository link, then press enter. The cloning process will begin, and after a few seconds it should complete successfully. Now let's navigate into the tools directory. Type cd InfoHarvester and press enter. Next, type ls to display the files inside the directory. As you can see, the project contains two versions of the tool. The file with the .py extension is intended for Python and Linux environments, while the .exe file is designed for Windows users. There's one small issue. We can't conveniently run the Python script because the file name contains spaces. To make it easier to execute, we'll rename the Python scripts. Type mv, followed by the current Python script name, and then specify the new file name. Oops. We ran into an error because we forgot to place the file name inside double quotation marks. To rename the file correctly, type the original file name inside double quotes, followed by the new file name without spaces. Then press enter. As you can see, the Python script has now been renamed successfully. We'll repeat the same process for the second Python GUI script. Perfect. Both scripts have now been renamed and are ready to use in the Linux terminal. Since this project provides both a command line interface, CLI, and a graphical user interface, GUI, we'll begin with the CLI version. Let's launch the tool. As you can see, the interface looks clean and is now asking us to enter the domain we want to analyze. For this demonstration, I'll use www.webscraper.io. The tool has successfully retrieved the publicly available email address along with the linked social media profiles, including Facebook and YouTube. However, it wasn't able to retrieve a phone number or fax number. This is likely because the website intentionally does not publish that information publicly, which is actually a good security practice. Now let's test another domain. This time we'll use www.github.com. Here, the tool is able to retrieve publicly available contact information, including the phone number, email address, and linked social media profiles. Now let's check out the GUI version. Wow! As you can see, the graphical interface looks clean and very user-friendly. To test it, simply enter the website domain in the URL field. For this demonstration, I'll use the GitHub domain once again. As you can see, the GUI version successfully retrieves the same publicly available information, including the phone number, email address, and linked social media profiles, just like the CLI version. As you've seen throughout this demonstration, tools like this can be very useful during reconnaissance and OSINT investigations when used responsibly. They help security professionals identify publicly exposed information so organizations can reduce unnecessary exposure and strengthen their security posture. The goal is not to exploit this information, but to understand what is publicly accessible and use that knowledge to improve cybersecurity through responsible and ethical practices. Before we wrap up, I'd like to leave you with one final reminder. Everything demonstrated in this video is intended solely for education, cybersecurity awareness, and ethical security research. Never use these techniques against systems you do not own or without explicit authorization. The knowledge shared here is meant to help you become a better cybersecurity professional, protect organizations, and promote responsible use of OSINT techniques. Any misuse of these concepts for illegal, unethical, or unauthorized activities is strongly discouraged and remains entirely your own responsibility. If you found this video helpful, kindly subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss more cybersecurity, ethical hacking, and OSINT tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.